Hey guys, it's Cece again. Alright, so this topic might not be the most comfortable topic. It's been all over the internet, so if you are a Witcher fan, I'm sure you've heard about Ciri and the casting call for Ciri in the Netflix show. They are looking for Black, Asian, or some minority ethnic background. And since you are Witcher fans, a lot of you know that in the books she is described as pale skin, white hair, ashen hair. In the series, the game series, we have this staple image of her. The first thing I want to say is that I am not going about this as in, oh, I hate black actors, I hate Asian actors. I like diversity. I do. I really do. And, I am Latina and Asian. So, trust me, it feels good when a Latina actress gets recognition or an Asian actress gets recognition. It feels good. I know how that feels, believe me. But I don't think I like this idea for Ciri. She is an already established character. She has a description. We're taking that away from her. And so I was watching, I mentioned before in my previous Witcher video, Witcher George, I was watching his video. And he brought up a tweet that I believe the director or the writer had tweeted back in May. Will I move through the book and start changing people's cultural heritage or ethnic makeup or gender because I'm feeling really liberal that day? No, that's ridiculous and contrary to what any writer would do, because we are storytellers. Story comes first. And I know Witcher is set in a fantasy setting. It takes place on the continent. It's a place that's made up. I get that. But the author still described her as a specific character. And even in this make-believe world, there are different regions in this world where characters are unique to that region. Skellige, for example, or if you've played the DLC, Toussaint. Toussaint is I think based on France. So, their makeup, the characters in Toussaint look and sound very different from the characters in Skellige. And the reason I don't want her changed, as other people mention, if you really love the lore of The Witcher, you see all these theories on YouTube, all these lore videos about where this character came from, where they came from, where that person came from. She has specific parents that come from a specific region. If we change her ethnic makeup, it'll change her parents. And she's of elven descent. I don't know 100%. I haven't read the books. I do want to. I plan to. But I do know I don't remember if it was her mother or if it was just descended. She has elvish blood. So even in a makeup world, think of The Lord of the Rings, for example. If Peter Jackson decided to make Legolas Asian or black, that would affect the makeup of the elves in the woodland area. All the elves have a specific look in that area. That would change his father's look, who's the king of the woodland elves, the Thranduil. It would affect that. It would affect the dynamic of how this fantasy setting works. And if you want to touch on racism and things like that, if that's your political agenda by adding a black or Asian or minority actress, there's so much racism in The Witcher already. There was another video that I was watching saying that you can touch on these topics without changing Ciri's skin color. For example, the witch hunt. There are tons of people that genuinely just hate for no reason, herbalists, witches, and sorceresses. People, think of our witch hunt. There were so many innocent people murdered and things like that. That touches on hatred and racism. They hate elves. They hate dwarves. That's their race. An elf. She can't change that. Just like a black person can't change their skin, a Mexican can't change. I can't change how tan I am. I mean, I'm not as tan as some, but I can't change it. I won't be as pale as some of my friends that I see. I won't be as dark as some of my friends that I see. I can't change that. That there is racism within The Witcher. Also in Toussaint. While I was there, someone hated him not just because he was a Witcher, but because he was from the north. They were talking about Nordlings. They're all thieves. They're all this. They're all that. Doesn't that sound familiar? That sounds like some of the things I hear about Mexicans, or some things I hear about black people. Like, you hear these things like, oh, they're all gang members. They're all killers and thieves. Like, we hear these things. And it was in The Witcher too. And they included that without changing anyone's skin color. And again, I know this is a made-up world, because I did bring up on Twitter Poland's culture, things like that. And they were like, well, it's a make-up world, that it doesn't take place in Poland. That's true. But since we're talking about fiction, Black Panther. Yeah, it takes place, on Earth at some points, but it's still fiction. Would this argument that these people are holding, would they still hold that if the Black Panther was cast by an Asian? Or cast as an Asian? Or cast as a white man? The Black Panther, I haven't seen it. I'm happy it's on Netflix, actually. I just saw it on Netflix, and I can't wait to watch it. But I do know that a huge not selling point, but a huge love for this movie was culture. And it should be. That was his culture. That's where he's of African descent. I was happy to have that. But what if he was cast as a white person? Would that be okay because we want to spread diversity? Or cast Black Panther as an Asian? Would that be okay because we want to spread diversity? It changes the dynamic of it. It changes his background. It changes the culture. I think people would have been very upset if the Black Panther wasn't black, since his character is of African descent. Or Mulan. What if Mulan was cast as a Mexican? Or cast Muslim? Or anything other than what she is? You would be taking away from that culture. And I know that that's not what people wanted. They want to represent their culture because it is a minority. But just because Ciri is white, it's like the opposite is okay. It's okay to change her and her culture. And someone said, well, it's not in Poland. Like, get your shit straight, basically telling me. And I can't speak for Poland as a whole. I'm not Polish. I don't know much about Polish culture. But I do know that it was written by a Polish author. It's based on Polish, Slavic mythology, things like that. And to change that, I feel, would be insulting in the same way as changing the Black Panther to be a white man. And I do have a friend. I won't say her name because I don't think she wants, all of this out there on her. But I will say what she said. And she lives in Poland, I believe. Yes, she does. I have a friend that, she lives in Poland. These are Polish books based on Slavic folklore. Slavs were colonized, oppressed, and subject to cultural erasure, just as much as native people of America and other places. Granted, I don't know much about their history, and I can look into that. But I mean, she lives in Poland, so I'm taking her word on this. There was a time when Poland as a state didn't exist. Speaking Polish was illegal. Now to take a product of that culture, something we're proud of because of how popular it became worldwide, and twist it and change it to make it more American or more PC? I'm assuming PC means politically correct. I've been seeing it all over Twitter. I'm not entirely sure. I've never heard just PC. I don't know what PC is exactly. It might kill the show, to be honest. Everything in that story is rooted in Polish mindset. The lands are based on European countries. Imagine taking an African character like Black Panther and casting as a white or Asian guy. You know, the same example as I had said, Black Panther. And I agree with it. I do. I don't want Ciri to be changed in that way, to be honest. It would change, like I said, the dynamic and the lore behind her. I mean, the elves, again, same as I said, Legolas has a specific look. All the elves in the woodland area had that specific look. And dwarves were racist to elves, just as the elves were racist to the dwarves in Lord of the Rings. And it was amazing to see Legolas and Gimli create such a friendship. And Ciri, like I said, is also of elven descent. The elves in The Witcher have a specific look as well. And her dad, Emperor Emir, and his army, the Black Ones, and not because they're black, they called them the Black Ones. Like, I mean, what if he was actually black? I think calling them the Black Ones would change the context and could be viewed very badly. I don't know. I mean, it's really difficult. It's a really touchy topic. And like I said, this isn't me trying to be racist or hateful. I love representation of culture and minorities. Crazy Rich Asians. I was so happy about that movie, and it was so well done. It made me cry. I was so happy to see so many Asian actors and actresses get the representation that they deserved, because they did well in that movie. But what if the main character was cast white or black? It would lose some of its meaning, especially to the Asian community. And for myself speaking, I like when, let's say, a Mexican character is at least played by a Latina. I don't like when a Mexican character is played by a white person. It affects me directly in a way. But if we're making a movie about a random family, there's marriage, there's friends, family, it's just a generic comedy like Gilmore Girls. You know, there's no set ethnicity in them, then yes, diversify all the characters you want. Make up your own characters, make up, you know, I love shows that bring diversity together. But if it's set and based in a specific region, in a specific area, in a specific culture, don't take that away from them. Why? Like, why do they... Why? I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why to a degree, you know, this whole political agenda. But like I said, they can touch on racism in the world that's already given to them without changing aspects of that world. And I tried to do this as respectfully as possible. I watched multiple videos on this topic. I've read multiple comments on this topic, and I spoke with multiple friends on this topic. And, you know, some of those videos, there was a lot of cussing and angry, and I don't want to bring that to you guys. I'm not, you know, here to say F this, F that, because that's not how I'm viewing this. And it sucks that some of these people who are against this idea are turning it into something racist when it's not against black actors, black actresses. There's a lot of people out there that are making it racist, specifically towards black actors and actresses. And that's wrong. I think that's very wrong as well. And it's not even set in stone that it's going to be a black actress. Black, Asian, or minority ethnic background. People are jumping the gun. There are individuals out there that are racist, jumping the gun and calling Ciri the N-word. And that's so wrong as well. I don't have words for that. That's ridiculous. That is not how I am looking at this. That is not how I want to approach this. That is not how I want to bring this about. I am simply talking about taking away the culture of a set character. And like I said, I already know it's not specifically, set in Poland. It's based on Europe in general. European countries, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, the game already shows diversity in mythical characters, creatures, and region as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, Skellige, Toussaint. In the same world, very different. In race, in fashion, in dialect. So, I don't find it necessary to change Ciri's ethnic background. And I feel like this is going back on her word, saying, that just because I'm feeling liberal that day. And there was a more recent tweet from this person, the director, writer, script writer, I don't know, Lauren S. Hisrich. It's time for a Twitter hiatus. The love here is amazing and the hate is enlightening. Like a real life trial of the grasses, except I have to read less and write more, or we won't have a damn finale. Be back soon with more insight and more roach. Be nice to each other, okay? I don't like the hate that's going around towards Lauren S. I mean, for all we know, this political agenda, whatever, I mean, her heart might be in the right place, but I don't think this is the right way to go about it. So I'm really sad to see that she's, specifically taking a hiatus due to all the hate that she's receiving for this, and the character isn't even cast yet. But I do hope that that's not the direction they take it. And not for any racist reasons. Not for any hateful reasons. I hope they keep Ciri as she is in the books, the way she's written to be. I mean, and as the author is Sapkowski, sorry if I'm not saying that right. I mean, these are his works of art. Writing is a work of art, and of course everyone can have their own interpretations and stuff of art, but by adapting his work of art, I feel like they should hold true to that work of art and not change things like that. But yeah, I probably missed a few things that I wanted to say, and I apologize. If it comes up again later, I'll probably, bring it up again. But for now, I just wanted to get this off my chest. I've spent, a couple days reading into this and watching videos on this, and like I said, talking to people about this. So let me know what you guys think if you are Witcher fans. I know I've just recently been talking about Witcher a lot on my YouTube, so I don't know if a lot of my viewers are specifically Witcher fans, but if any of you are and you watched this whole thing through, because I see it's almost been 18 minutes of talking, let me know what you think and how you feel about this, and if you agree or disagree with me. And please don't be hateful towards anyone in my comments. That's not, like I said, that's not how I want to go about this. That's not how I want to discuss this. If you disagree with me respectfully. If you agree with me respectfully. Don't bash on each other, don't bash on other people, don't bash on me, although I know it's the internet and people can be jerks. But please try to be respectful in the comments and let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay? Bye.